From the deep, dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas, Tabbytha, and Grebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Welcome to Fleet Action Report, the show where we don't just play the game, but we teach you how to play the game.
That was Nikodas, and I'm Tabbytha, completely devoid of any creative introductions because I have been incredibly busy this week. And up next is Grebog.
This is episode 192, Torpedoes in the Water. If you'd like to support us, you can obviously support us here. Like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Also, that we exist on YouTube, which you can just find us Fleet Action Report on YouTube. I think you have to do the YouTube slash.
So I exist in the real world.
And then obviously we have a coffee link if you would like to support us that way as well. Just being here though is enough support. We appreciate any and all. Yeah.
We love you all.
All right. As you can tell, Tabby is a little bit different sounding tonight. Tabby is remote, essentially.
Yes.
She's a remote. What?
Yes, I am a remote. I have a bunch of buttons pasted to my front side, and I have a weird hatchet. No, I'm not going to complete that at one.
I mean, she's not actually at Earth space dock. She is really remoting in from a whole nother solar system.
From another quadrant.
There you go.
I don't know. New York City, I do think that's another world. But yes, I am from my laptop in a hotel room in New York City on garbage Wi-Fi.
Well, since you already kind of started talking about it, Tabby, why don't we give you the reins and you can tell us why you've been super busy this week?
Oh, why, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm in New York City. This morning I spoke at a panel at a summit at the New York Law School called Diverse Spaces and Digital Spaces. Diverse Spaces, Digital Spaces, and it's pretty much just about mental health in the current legislative landscape and the digital age. So it's a really, really interesting few hours of discussion. Won't go too deep into the weeds on it because it's kind of a little bit out of scope of the show, but that was pretty much my entire week was preparing for the panel, and then yesterday was driving out to New York City, and then today was the panel itself, and then tomorrow we'll be driving back home.
Nikodas, what have you been up to? How have you
I still don't have my voice. At this point, I'm wondering if it's ever going to come back.
What? Is somebody talking? I can't hear anybody. They don't have a voice.
I can't laugh. My laughs sound very hollow. Singing is out of the question. Actually tried to sing a little bit at church this past week, and yeah, that was just terrible. Yeah, so I'm still dealing with my voice being gone. I don't know.
So normal singing voice then, huh?
Oh, now see, that was just mean. I finished PT. So I'm scheduled to go back to my normal job on Monday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Not completely healed, but I have no restrictions either. So I just have to wear an ankle brace until May, which is going to be interesting, trying to sleep on station while wearing an ankle brace. Not sure how far that's going to work, but we'll see. As far as gaming goes, I am still working on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I am on the final chapter, and I'm getting concerned about the way things are potentially going to unfold. No spoilers, but in the original 7, there is a certain character who was unalived, and I am very quickly approaching that same point in Rebirth. We'll see how it goes.
Oh no.
I don't want the character to bite the dust, but we'll see how it goes.
Sad face. Maybe it'll end up different this time.
Potentially. Oddly enough, I have not seen any spoilers online, even though I'm on TikTok all the time. So I'm a little curious about that. But yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen. Please, if you're in here and you know what happens, do not tell me. I do not want to know. And then STO trying to put this build together and working a little bit on our next build as well. And that's pretty much it. What about this? Oh, wait, I do this week in STO. Let me do this. See, Hollow laughing.
I heard his feelings with making a joke about his singing, even though I think Nikodas was in choir.
I was actually in two different
which means
choirs.
he can actually sing. I just like teasing him. That's all.
I was in my high school choir and show choir, and I've been in several different church choirs over the years. I am not currently in a choir because I am on my church's security team. So I do that in lieu of singing in the choir, since they would overlap a bit. All right, so this week in STO, they didn't really call it a 10 forward. As a matter of fact, in the opening minutes, they said it was not a 10 forward. I don't know what they called it, but a new thing with the studio, with Cryptic Studios and the new CEO. I'm excited that he took the time to essentially talk to the player base. I thought that was really cool. They gave us a timeline of events, and we can put the link to that up, or the image of that up for you guys. Essentially in March this month, we got the Tholian Event and the New Mudds bundle, which launched today on PC, and then console started their anniversary launch.
Today's not a bundle. It's just individual items. We're still going to get a Mudds bundle.
Oh, all right. I misunderstood. I stand corrected. Are
you standing then?
I'm not. I'm sitting, sort of. I'm kind of sitting Indian style. Okay, so to be specific, the 10 forward consisted of the new CEO and two of the executive producers, one of those being for Neverwinter and the other one for STO, and then Ambassador Kale was there as well. In April on PC, we get the first Contact Day event, and it says with a new ship from Star Trek Beyond that is going to be added to the Infinity Lockbox. Consoles will also get the first Contact Day event, and they'll get the Tier 6 Orion Devar that PC got a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whenever that came out. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just agreeing with you. I think it's about a week ago.
In May, PC is getting a new Iconian event, and this is all new. A new reward. There is going to be a new ship bundle and the start of season 32. Now, the ship bundle, I want to take just a moment on this. I did not watch the 10 forward Grebog. As I understand it, you did. I watched part of it. I didn't get to watch all of it. As I understand, you did, though?
I did.
So, what? Like, I can't find anything online that says that we're getting a Dyson bundle. Was that something they talked about?
That is something they talked about. It was not in the slide. They specifically said that we're going to have a new Dyson ship. Now, they didn't specify whether it was going to be legendary or just a regular T6. So part of me is hoping for a 3 legendary T6 ship, one for each of the factions. That would then give you all the consoles and at least all the consoles from the T5s and all the appearances from the T5s. But that's just my wish. Oh.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm actually kind of excited for that. I like the Dyson science destroyers, and I'm curious what they're going to come up with.
This news kind of dovetails very nicely with a certain episode we got coming up.
Yeah, we still need to talk about that behind scenes, though. But yes, very much so. Also in May on console, they'll get the Tholian event and a new ship. We don't know much about that new ship. It just says "and new ship."
I think that new ship is the new ship that we're going to see from the Star Trek Beyond that's going in the Infinity Lockbox in April. They're always about a month behind us on releases like that.
Okay, that's fair. And then finally in June, we're going to get a new Muds bundle for PC, and console will start season 32 and the event that goes along with that. And that's all I have for the timeline. Tabby, you want to grab
season 32, we are getting the continuation of the Kings and Queens story arc. So we're getting some new content, one new episode, one new task force operation, new ship added to the Infinity Lockbox. So for those of you with a ton of money to dump into the game for a new ship, you get your wish. New event and new reward, and a new feature not done before. So put on your speculation hats, everyone. And then a returning Star Trek alumni as our guest celebrity. So do you think that's going to be a returning Star Trek alumni of the game or somebody completely new?
My understanding, they have already done voices in STO.
Okay.
There's
another
supposed
new
to be
twist.
A spoiler out there. If you go and find some of the STO or some of the Star Trek people that have done voices for their characters in STO, someone may have oopsed and said they were excited for working on the project.
Oh.
Though I don't know if that tweet is still out there.
Oh, well, I imagine it's out there somewhere because somebody's probably screen captured it and put it on Reddit somewhere or something. But let's see. Terran Gambit was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes. Civil War was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can probably expect another 3 or 4 episodes in the Kings and Queens arc. So we're about to get the next installment in it. So we've already gotten the revelation of Harry Kim as the Borg King. So I wonder what they're gonna drop on us next. And what do you think this new feature not done before is gonna be?
Okay, in the stream, they asked the executive producer for STO, like, can you go into any details about it? And he's like, it's a token. You're gonna have to buy tokens. Oh wait, no. And then he like retracted it. He said it like he was joking that it was a token. So it may or may not have a token that we may or may not have to buy.
What if it's an energy credits token, a way to kind of like the WoW token lets us buy currency directly?
Well, here's something we've speculated many times that would be very cool to have in the game. What if it's a token that you can use on a lockbox ship that you have that allows you to get that onto another captain?
Yeah, like allows you to repackage a ship.
Well, I'm not even say like duplicate, even if it lets you grab the ship and get a second version. Because first I thought make an account wide ship, but I could see them just doing it, letting you do one more captain, where like you get a copy in a box that you can then put on another character.
Yeah, it takes like one lockbox ship and makes one account wide duplicate of it. They can transfer to another one of your characters. That would be amazing.
And the reason I don't think they would do an account-wide token is for the fact that then it destroys the Mudd bundles. And this would allow the people that only want the ship on one or two more tunes without destroying the Mudd bundle idea. If that makes sense. And then it also keeps them making money.
That's fair. Grebog, did you want to talk about Deca?
All right. So, yeah, as Nikodas has said, like, yeah, I watched the entire thing. There was a lot of stuff in there for Neverwinter. So if you are also a player of Neverwinter, I highly encourage you to watch that. So Deca will be taking over control with Cryptic moving to more of a support role. This was one of the topics that they talked about. That meaning they are going to be the ones making the content. They're the ones going to make the ships. They're the ones that are going to be working with the Paramount and you know, CBS and all the people involved to as the main deal. Thanks, bud. Yeah, I'm doing quite well. Deca is investigating the feasibility. Like, so people keep asking, are they ever going to move STO onto a new engine? And I think Phil Frazier was very tired of getting this question. He's like, Cryptic's done this before because like investigated the feasibility, and they also do a cost benefit analysis of moving the STO to a new engine, because if it's going to cost, and he said when they did it for Cryptic, they estimated it was going to cost them $10 million of development, and that they would probably not be able to produce any new content for 2 to 5 years while moving the stuff over. So he's like, if they're going to do their own investigation and their own determination. He's like, we just figured it would be easier from what we did in our investigation to leave it on the engine it is and support it as is. So will STO go to a new engine? It's it's technically possible. However, probably highly unlikely. And also moving the game over to a new engine, they're like, yes, there are many engines out there, and some of them offered a lot of neat features. However, that does not mean you're going to get an instant graphics improvement overall. He's like, all the artwork that we have in game is all the artwork you're going to see when we would move it over. That's not going to change. We're going to have to use all that artwork again. And a big part of it, like the migrating over, they would have to redo every mission over again in the new engine. And that is why they say it would take so long to do that. Because you're talking, how many missions do we have in here, you know, in our episode logs? You know, and I think if they were to do this, we would probably end up losing a lot of the available missions that are no longer part of a story arc. Like the Cold War stuff would likely just get nixed. Lost and Found, you know, like all these ones that they left in the game for us to do will probably will evaporate on a migration because they're not part of the main story arc. And yeah.
Now, just to be clear, they didn't actually say that. That is kind of our feeling on
speculation.
It's my speculation. And if I was a dev company, if something's not in the main story arc for a game, it is not priority.
So, I would not. I'll be honest with you. I would not want to go 2 years with no content at all.
Yeah. Now, again, maybe Deca has plans. Like, they've been hiring people. So they still have Cryptic, and Cryptic really hasn't lost many people at all. And the people that have gone are, well, for the STO team, the people that have left the STO team, are actually of their own will. Deca has not been firing them. Cryptic hasn't been firing them. It's only people leaving of their own will. So, as far as I know, everyone at Cryptic that is currently there still is welcome to stay. It's just whether or not they want to stay. Change of new management is always a possible reason for some people to just, I want to try something new. It's time to move on. And here's something else that is pretty interesting. Cryptic or Deca has been hiring people that have already worked on other Star Trek content. One of the big story people that they hired in worked on Star Trek Infinity. So they already, yeah. So they're hiring people that have worked on Star Trek content and already, are already have a love for the Star Trek content. So yeah. There was a question about the lifetime subscription and if Deca would cancel it, and Phil was like, that's not gonna happen. The game brings them in too much money, and if they were to do something like that would just, it wouldn't work. He understood, like that would draw that so many people in the game if they were to cancel the lifetime subs, would just like, I'm done, and that I would probably be one of them.
Yep.
So they understand. Yeah. It brings them in money even still. Like the lifetime subs, like, yes, you get $5 a month of Zen, but that to them is a drop in the bucket. You're going to probably end up needing more Zen to buy other ships and stuff. So I don't think you have to worry about the lifetime subs. Let's see. And it was said several times that Deca is excited to have Cryptic and their games as part of the team. Though it will take some time to train some of the new people on all the aspects of working with, one, the coding engine, and two, the various properties and the licensing of the games. Phil talked about having, he was going to be helping the Deca people and making the introductions to the both Wizards of the Coast for the Neverwinter folks, and also to Paramount for the Star Trek Online folks, and making sure that they had a good working relationship and could keep, make sure the licensing will keep moving forward, so that way we can keep getting new content that is being put on screen.
All right, so last bit of news here. We found a bug. We were running patrols this past Monday, and we ended up with a team size of 4, and we went in there. If you are partnered up, if it's just you and another person, then you can go into patrols. Everything will work normally. If you have 3 or more players, it looked like you were only getting about 1/3 of the experience that you should be getting, or that only about 1/3 of the kills were actually awarding experience and expertise. We also noticed that there was a pretty severe drop in loot. Usually when you run a patrol, there end up being loot stuff all over the place. There wasn't. We weren't seeing that. It was a little weird. Now, I have talked to some other players after that, and they said they have not noticed that happening, but we were able to get it to show up multiple times in different patrols.
And we recorded it.
And it's, yeah, you go watch, yeah, you can go find it on Twitch. It's still there. So I'm very curious as to if everybody's experienced that or if it was just us, but keep that in mind if you're going to run patrols in a group. Lastly, they did add, as I mentioned earlier, they did add some new items into the Mudds market. The holographic Marshall Janeway, the Kumarke Visionary Ground Set, and the Terran Somerville were all added. I got to stress, Marshall Janeway is terrific, and she is 75% off right now, or $10 as an account-wide unlock. That is a fantastic away team member. She essentially turns dead things into Borg drones that will fight for you. It's a lot of fun to see. It's really cool.
The Kamarke Visionary ground set is also a pretty good starter ground set. I have tunes that I use. That's all they've been using. I will warn you, everything turns pink, and there's going to be a lot of pink lightning, and it could be a bit too much. The lightning that gets done in that, it for me, it was a bit overstimulating, I guess would be a good way to put it. It was just
too much sensory.
Yeah. So.
All right, that's all the news. Sorry that took so long.
They said it was only 50% off the Mudd's Market stuff. It's 75% off right now in the Mudd store. It says 75% off. If you need to buy any individual item right now, just holy crap, like
75% off.
Normally they 75% off.
Hey,
everybody.
Remember all that PAT testing that we did? You can now get the Nanopulse Warthog to complete the pair for $2K.
There you go. That's another good purchase. All right, so we promised that we would blow stuff up and we would talk about a torpedo build. So half of our show is already gone. We're probably going to run over a little bit, but let's jump into this. So as you can see, we are each flying the Terran Eagle. This is a fantastic platform for a torpedo build. Most notably, the console it comes with. You can't beat it. It sets the shared torpedo recharge to 1.5 seconds or to 0.5 seconds if the equipped ship has pilot maneuvers. Wow. And that's all your torpedoes except the maelstroms. I noticed that it doesn't work on the maelstroms as printed. And yes, we are using a maelstrom, one of them. So for weapons, now this is a budget build. This is not going to top the DPS charts. We did use a top build as a base when we were putting this together, but we followed some guidelines about how much we could spend on it, where traits and such
scaled it back.
come from. Yes, and essentially scaled it back. So this is a budget build. Keep that in mind. No judgments, please. So for weapons, we have the enhanced biomolecular photon torpedo launcher. This is a must. We have the gravimetric photon torpedo launcher. We basically are using this for the two-piece set with the Dyson proton weapon. Get to that in a minute. We have the dark matter quantum torpedo launcher. This is essentially here for the three-piece set bonus that fires free torpedoes. And we are using one of the Maelstrom torpedoes. Now, I've got the Maelstrom Quantum off of the legendary Akira. I believe Grebog and Tabby are using the trifluoride Maelstrom torpedo. Either one is fine.
We gotta help the enemy practice good oral hygiene after all.
There you go. Either one is fine. The only reason I'm using this one is because I already had this one epiced out on this character, and I do not have the trifluoride epiced out, so I opted to use this one. They're fairly comparable. And then in our fifth spot, we've got the Phaser wide-angle dual heavy beam bank. Again, this is essentially here for the three-piece set bonus and firing free torpedoes. For our equipment, we went with the meta. We've got the Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector. From the Fleet Colony, we've got the... Oh, I'm sorry, we did not go with the meta. I forgot we changed this. That is not on my notes, so bad, Nikodas. For the Impulse, we switched out the competitive engines for the adapted Mako. And the two-piece set...
Did we?
We had talked about it. I thought
it's
we
still
did.
On the sheet as the other.
We talked about it, but on the sheet.
Okay, let me rephrase this then. Okay, so an option that you have is using the adapted Mako. The two-piece set bonus off the adapted Mako set gives you almost 30% torpedo damage. It was recommended. We had discussed it. I neglected to change the sheet, so that's on me. The other option is to use the meta. So you could do the prevailing innervated impulse hinges from the competitive rep and then go with the mycelial harmonic core and the Tilly's review pending shield from the Dyson or from the Discovery rep. Either way is fine. One gives you more survivability, the other one gives you more damage. So, it's an option depending on how you fly and if you think you need more survivability, which I do. So it's probably better if I do switch it back. For our aft
Maybe that's why
weapons,
you've been blowing up so much.
could be, definitely wouldn't hurt to switch that back. For our aft weapons slot, we have the Dyson Proton weapon. This is here for the 2-piece set bonus that grants us, let me see if I can pull it up. Details. There we go. Details are important. This also gives us almost 30% photon projectile weapon damage and 3% crit chance. It also allows this weapon to activate with fire at will. So there is that. That is on our build. I'll get to that in a minute. For consoles, for our universal slots, I have a vulnerability locator and Lorca's custom fire controls. For our tactical consoles, we went entirely with the vulnerability locators for that added crit chance and added torpedo damage. Very important on a torpedo build. For our engineering consoles, we have the covert warhead module that comes off the Eagle. That's the one I was talking about earlier. We also used the Hall image refractors. This we bought off the exchange, roughly about 8 million energy credits. It adds 20% all damage, and you can get temporary hit points off of your hull. It also comes with a clicky that will heal you, so more survivability. For our science consoles, we went with the Tachyon net drones from the C-Store Bozeman, the Ordnance Accelerator off of the Gamma Rep, the Tricobalt Tear Generator off the C-Store Appalachia, and the C-Store Terran Lexington's multi-directional artillery barrage. All of these either enhance projectile damage or crit chance and severity. The Ordnance Accelerator also reduces the shared cooldown on mines. So if you would rather run this with mines instead, you can. But we're basically using this for the projectile weapon damage. There aren't that many consoles that come off of like non-lockbox ships that we could plug in here. And a lot of the meta stuff was well above our budget. It was, some of them came in at like 60 million,
Really
80
expensive.
million. So we had to find something. So we went with the Ordnance Accelerator for the projectile weapon damage. If you epic that out, I believe it's another 25. It gets to 25 or maybe even 28%. I have not, and mine's sitting at plus 22. All right. So for your specializations, the recommendation is intelligence as your primary and temporal ops as your secondary. For energy levels, weapons and engines should be at 15, shields at 70, and auxiliary at 100. Now, I've also seen it suggested where weapons and shields were at 15, engines at 70, and aux at 100. You can run that either way. Whew. Okay, starship traits. And again, these are budget resources. So, although like all starship traits, most of these come off of ships. We stuck with C-Store ships when we could. We also tried to pull from other sources that might be free. I'm sorry, Grebog. Do you want to take over?
No. Go.
All right, so we've got the advanced precision guided munition off the Cabot. which is C-Store, Entwined Tactical Matrices off of the Gagarin. That is a must-have for this build. The rest of them you can change out all you want. You must have the Entwined Tactical Matrices to make this work. History will remember off of the Narendra. Now, improved critical systems or regular critical systems comes off the Temporal Agent Recruit. Piercing projectiles comes off the C-Store Appalachia. Programmable matter enhancements we got on the exchange for roughly 3 million, so kind of a cheap one. And Sniper came off the Tamir, which is an event reward. If you have it, use it. Is the Tamir in Mudds? I can't remember if that one's been added in yet.
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
I didn't either. For our space reputation, the 5 that we want to go with is Advanced Targeting Systems, Auxiliary Power Configuration, Offense, Aux Power Config Offense, Omega Kinetic Shearing, Precision, and the Torpedo Free Pre-Fire Sequence. Let me get untongue-tied. Grebog, you want to take personal traits? My throat's getting a little dry here. Sorry.
I had to get creative with my personal traits a little bit. I have to fix my space ones. So for personal traits, we have Fleet Coordinator. A lot of these we went with a lot of the innate. So we have Fleet Coordinator. That's one of the innate ones. Gives you bonus damage per team member, which is always good for anytime you're doing team content, you know. Then we obviously have the superior. Well, you can get the superior version from K7, but projectile training, which is another innate. Then we have the kinetic precision. This is from R&D, getting the R&D up to level 15 in the torpedo school. This is Boimler. This comes from the Lobby store, but you can also buy it off the exchange. If you do not have it ever, I highly recommend always, whenever you get some Lobby or enough EC, to pick it up. It is great for any build. Then we have Innocuous. This is another innate. It gives you minus threat, but crits with more crit severity. Accurate, another innate, gives you and then you can get the superior version at K7, which gives you 10% accuracy. Point blank shot, I do not have because I did not run this mission on this guy yet, which is from the Iconian War story arc, House Peg. It's not a terrible trait. The closer you are, the more damage you do, which I find interesting that you combine that with the Sniper. The further away you are, the more damage you do.
But the way combat goes, you're going to be at varying ranges. So having point blank shot and Sniper, you're always going to be getting a damage bonus because you're going to be at varying ranges.
I know. It just seems interesting. I'll say.
Seems counterintuitive.
Actually, Sniper is not on our list anymore. It was, but it's not anymore. It's
still on the Starship traits.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I stand corrected. I was looking in the wrong spot. See, this is what I get when I'm tired.
Operative, another innate. It gives you crit chance, crit severity. Elusive, that gives you more defense. And then there, from the Iconian War, which I have not run this mission either on this guy, from the story arc, and the mission Midnight, you can get Nanite Repair Matrix. This is a survivability. And then most people, this is an innate, unless you're a Jim Hadar, and that is Techie, which I do not have it either because I'm a Jim Hadar. So I do not have Techie. Gotcha. Another alternative, if you are a Romulan character, you can use Romulan Operative. That is a great trait to put in.
Which replaces Operative.
Yes. I did I did pick up, because I have a guy that had trait boxes. I picked up A Good Day to Die. He is a tactical captain. It's not a cheap one. It is a good one. So if you can afford it eventually, and you're a tactical captain, this is definitely a good trait to pick up. A good day to die. And then also out of another box I picked up, which I think this one wasn't a terrible price, but Ablative Shell, which is another survivability. I was trying to find something that would replace the nanite repair matrix quickly for my captain. So
there's like, I'm still unfortunately I did not get my R&D stuff up, so I am missing 2 traits off the list. I replaced one with adaptive offense and another one with Terran targeting systems. Both of those are expensive, but again, they're really good if you can get them, so take that as you will. For our duty officers, and this is the last thing before we go blow some stuff up, and it would help if I would pull up the right menu. Now, there are lots of good duty officers that you can use. The recommended for this that I could find, now again, this is not everything that was recommended, budget builds. You want a projectile weapons officer that gives stacking crit severity and one that gives stacking crit chance. Rare is usually good enough if you can afford the rarer ones. Very rare or ultra rare, you should, but otherwise the blues are fine. The emergency con hologram, which comes out of the Phoenix prize pack, that's good on almost every ship. It interacts with your emergency powered engines and causes your evasive maneuvers to refresh itself and be usable that much quicker. If you can find them, the space warfare specialist, the Nakul ones, are really good. It basically has outgoing damage, can be applied as healing, and you can get them for tactical abilities, engineering abilities, or science. This particular build uses a lot of tactical abilities, so that's what I went with, and we got, I don't know, Gook, whatever you want to call him, Guk. And then for my 5th and final spot, I went with Brad Boimler, who is free. Should be in the available tab, or I'm sorry, the promotional tab of your C store. If they are still there, it is a free giveaway. I have no idea if they are still available to new players or not. I tried to find out, and nobody could give me an answer on any of the sites that I went to. So
You
I
might
don't
also
know.
be able to see them if you look in your duty officer section. In the lower left, there's request more duty officers. You'll see them at the bottom under the lower decks duty officers.
There you go. So hopefully they're still
If you
available
if you
and
don't,
people can get them. Brad Boimler in particular, he has your torpedoes spawn little clouds, little toxic clouds that do a damage over time effect. Since it enhanced torpedoes, I rolled with it. That is the build in a nutshell. Now, I know that was a lot of information and I went over it really quick. We always post our show notes on YouTube with the videos. So you can even click on the link to the ship build and read everything off of our Google Sheet that I just read to you. So it's all there. You know, you don't even have to watch the show. You can just go find our build and copy it, and there you go. You guys want to do the daily?
let's do the daily.
sure.
I moved my stuff back, so I am using Tilly's again and have a little bit more survivability. So we'll see if I blow up again this time. It would help if I'm not next to tarantulas when I kill them. Wee woo.
We will.
That was fast. Oh man, and there's a universe class sitting there. I should have buzzed the tower.
The Tholians have captured a number of Romulan.
We're here.
Wow, we're all small ships. Ish.
What is? Oh, yep. I guess so.
I mean, we do have a Chimera in
Our
here.
time here is limited.
Sad
Or-
that the
Focused,
Chimera is
plan
the
your
heaviest
attacks,
ship.
and save as many ships as possible. Every loss is critical for my people.
All right, I'm going to the 3.
Which 3?
Same one as you.
The Tholians are using their energy webs to track your ships. Target and fire at the nodes connecting the webs. If you are caught inside the web, try to destroy one side of it.
I think we
and
got him.
escape before it collapses in on you.
Well, that was interesting.
What? Heavy Tetrion beam turret. Who has that? I see it's turret's doing some stuff.
Apex Warbird is escaping.
Well, I cleared out a 2-pointer all by myself.
It's not a bad build, and it's kind of fun. Especially when you get those giant green torpedoes to launch.
So I may have picked up. Did you even get the fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
I fired my giant green torpedoes.
I may have pulled out, since I have the Warbird that has the
Delon Warbird
trait.
is escaping.
I may have picked up that starship trait. I was going to add it in eventually on this ship.
Which one?
The one that you need, you hit them with the tractor beam and you get free torpedoes.
Achilles Warbird is
Oh,
escaping.
that one.
New
Achilles
readings on
Warbird is
sensors.
escaping.
Yeah, I mean, it comes
Tholian
off what,
ships
the
are on the way
legendary
The
scimitar?
Derdex.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got that one. I just didn't use it because we're not supposed to use stuff off legendaries.
Yeah, for the build, I wanted to give this a go before I swapped it around.
Torpedoes away.
Torpedoes in the water. Oh,
Everything's dead.
I know, right?
torpedo builds are very potent when done correctly.
Well, there's a reason they're still considered the top, DPS build. I still prefer beam overload, but you can't argue with
Warbird is
results.
escaping.
Ooh, 5-pointer.
Oh, I can hit cloak, and then I can get there without having to worry about the guys in the middle.
Oh yeah, that's another good thing about this ship. You have an innate battle cloak. Actually, an innate advanced battle cloak. You can fire these torpedoes while still cloaked.
You can't use everything while cloaked, but you can use... Like, you wouldn't be able to trigger your entwined tactical matrices.
Correct. Yeah, because you can't use scatter volley or fire at will.
Well, I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you switch it to 2 people?
Sure.
Uh-oh. Tabby's
Oh.
having some issues. Sorry, Tabby.
So let's go here, go there, go there. All right. Just the two of... Oh, I mean...
Are you still with us, Tabby?
A Falchion Dreadnought is escaping.
Yeah,
Oh.
I just gotta stop sharing because I am rubber banding like there's no tomorrow.
I mean, sure, if you have access to legendary ships or lockbox ships, there are some way better traits that we can use for this build.
Oh yeah, but we are kind of we generally for our builds we try and keep it within certain guidelines.
Yeah, we're trying to keep anything we buy from the exchange under, what, 10 million a pop or 50 million total for the entire
15.
ship. Oh, 15 million a pop, and then, yeah, 50 million roughly overall for the build. So that way, it won't bankrupt people.
Delon Warbird is
Same Same with obviously you're not. You have to get tier 6 ships to get traits, to get starship traits. So there's going to be some spending,
But like,
but we're
given that they
avoiding
hand out,
legendaries.
yeah, like single T6 ships, we use because like they hand out T6 tokens all the time. They hand like, and you can get them easily from the year-long event. So it's like and like you can trade in dilithium for Zen, and so it's actually pretty easy to get T6 ships.
The Eagle, which is fun.
But we don't include legendary ships and bundle exclusive ships.
Or lockboxes.
A
Yep.
Hapax warbird is escaping.
I didn't even realize that was a Hapex. Oops.
Oops.
Well, it didn't matter. I mean, I still soloed the group, so... Oh, no, you were with me. I'm sorry. I'm discounting you, Grebog. I apologize.
I did nothing. I just watched.
Because of my rubber banding, I can't get anywhere in time to shoot anything.
That's
This is
bad.
great.
I was
There
too
we
close
go.
to that big ship
I'm
again.
shooting things.
We have any more 5s up? No, there's a Hapex over there.
So I'm not even using. I haven't taken much damage at all. They all die too fast.
A Delon warbird is escaping.
I did, but just because I was close to one that went kablooey.
A Hapax warbird is
Which seems to be
that
an
is where
issue that I
pilot
have.
maneuvers come in very handy.
Yeah, see, my issue is I use pilot maneuvers to get to my enemies. And as my daughter would say, that sounds like a me problem.
Playstyle.
Yeah. That's a skill issue.
I also use my pilot maneuvers to get out of webs.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Gonna get my shields back while we're freeing this guy.
Why am I under attack? Oh, we had a friend.
There was a fighter sitting around.
A Delon warbird is escaping.
So, since there is 3 of us, do you guys want to hit a patrol when we're done and see if we can
Replicate
mimic
our bug.
the issue that we had? Yeah.
Sure.
All the explosions. And the Kobayashi Maru shows up just in time to watch everything die.
Oh, so we were talking about the issues that I was having with this build the other day. I did fix one of them. I noticed gravity well while I had it on the seating. I did not have it on my bar. And so that seems to be helping a bit too.
Oh.
This warbird is escaping.
Like I said, sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, I know. My daughter would say that too. She would agree with you. Oh, you killed it before my big torpedo hit it.
I don't even know if my fluorides are going off. They're dying so fast.
Do you have them on auto fire?
So the Tholians aren't getting a chance to brush.
I do right now, but I know that's not the recommended. I wanted to see how it worked and if I could get away with it, because I'm lazy.
I had it on auto fire originally. I ended up turning it off, but I'm kind of curious now.
Though I've noticed that apparently my dark matter were not auto fire. Oh, am I cloaked? I appear to be. Oh, one of my powers is cloaking me sometimes.
Oh, yeah, you probably are activating image refractors.
A Delon Warbird is escaping.
No, I do. For those that do not know, never activate Hall image refractors unless you really don't like you're in an oh shit moment and need not to die.
A Talis Warbird is escaping.
Because
I'm
Hall
going
image
after-
refractors, when activated, pulls you out of the fight for 20 seconds.
I'm going after the big one here.
Same.
I don't know if we have enough time, but
Target's shields have failed.
What?
they did not last very long.
I'm not going to get this one done. Tractor beam wise.
We might just get the dreadnought.
A Falchion Dreadnought
Wow.
is escaping.
Yes.
I am quite impressed with
That was what timing? 4 seconds.
Literally last second.
I need Omega.
Yeah, I need Omega now too.
There we go. Alrighty. Okay, so let's see if we can let's run a patrol and see if we can duplicate our issue. Shall we go pester Madron again?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm assuming advanced.
Yes.
Yeah, normal's not gonna be worth anything.
Assuming we can duplicate it. Kinger, there we go. 9th rule.
Okay, Kinger, ninth rule. Okay,
The
ready to
ninth
launch?
roll.
Yep.
Yes.
Launching.
Looks like there was a fight here recently. I'm not picking up any.
Good week, Afra. Take the car.
The Carter is ready to assist you.
Says
Lead the
everyone's
way.
in system.
Shergat will follow.
Here we go.
Reading a single Ferengi vessel, Marauder class. They've decloaked.
I thought that leave enough of their ships for salvage. I'll be under cloak.
These Gorn must be desperate if they're working for a Ferengi.
This doesn't concern you. Find something better to do somewhere else.
That was a lot of kabooms.
Well,
Let's
there's
see
good news
here.
and bad news. Which would you
So
like to hear
far, I
first?
haven't gotten much.
Bad news: the Ferengi.
There really hasn't been a whole lot here yet.
Ah,
Unless you want to be our
It'll
next
be more
hunt,
obvious
you'll
in the
be
final
over those
pack.
spores.
you treacherous!
Giant green
Deal
torpedoes.
gets worse by the minute.
Does anyone ever want to
Man,
be
that's
hunted by
nice with
Hirogen?
that
I'm curious.
gravity well.
The Oh, I'll throw in the legendary
Alright, here they come.
Tot. Do we have a deal?
Try to make this interesting, Prey. Prove you're worth the hunt.
Ooh. They tractor beamed me.
Okay, I would now agree that this is not working as intended. We are killing way more things than the experience mounts that are dropping in. Like, I pulled up the NPC chat just to watch the messages, the toast messages come in. Yeah. Now, yes, okay. For those that don't know, yes, it does add up things together. If you kill, supposedly when you kill like 3 things, it would add it into one message and show you all of that. As one message. It unfortunately, with what we're getting, I would say is not happening. I would really have to be on the ship to mastering it to 100% verify it is at diminished amounts. Though I don't think we're having as big of a problem as we were the other day, because I'm still seeing
like
rewards.
Loot.
Yeah, we are seeing loot drops, so there is that.
So it could be one of those weird intermittent, hard to find, hard to replicate bugs.
Keep up the pressure.
I'm trying to think of what would have triggered it. But that was very frustrating to be getting 1/3 of what. Yeah.
Well, and I mean,
Well fought.
we watched it.
Indeed. They'll think twice about coming after us again. I'll let Alliance Command know Modron's on his way to a Federation holding facility. We will make sure.
What are we doing next week, guys?
For what he's done here today. Rest assured.
Well, I imagine, like, since we seem to be doing like every other week is a build, I imagine next week is going to be like a kind of like a content week rather than a build week.
Well, it's hard for. I mean, we've said before, it's hard to put a whole build together in a week. So
yeah,
we want to give more time than that. I don't have anything down though. Let's see. Lobby.
What do we have in our coming up things? I did suggest 2 other things. We don't have to do them next week, but I definitely want to do them before the end of the campaign.
You talking about the lobby recommendations and the campaign
promo
choice?
Yeah, because I do want to go through because
you want to do lobby next week.
We can do lobby.
Let's do lobby.
There's a lot of good stuff in lobby, and I know I threw one of them out there today. You know, Boimler, because Boimler.
All right, so next week we'll go over what's in the lobby store and have our recommendations.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff in there.
Mostly weapons, a few traits,
some ships.
There's still a lobby ship that I need. Maybe I'll buy one next week.
Maybe.
Is
there a sale next week?
I wish. I hope.
No, watch a lobby sale drop as we're doing a lobby.
That would be nice, but we just had a lobby sale not that long ago. That doesn't mean it won't happen again next week, but yeah.
I mean, obviously we don't have to do it on air, but I do have the legendary Akira, which is a really nice torpedo platform. So I'm going to work on moving the torpedo build that we just featured onto my legendary Akira. I got to look over some stuff, though, to make that happen. So not going to do it right now, but just so our viewers know, you don't have to have, the Eagle to make it work on another ship. So,
well, here's some of the ships that the STO Better has put torpedo builds on. One is the Eagle. Then we have the legendary Scimitar, the Earhart, the Lexington, the Excelsior, Zentar, and the Cheval. Now that does not say that you cannot put it on other ships, but if you want to look at someone else's build, like their builds, then that would be where to, some of the ships they use. Sorry about that.
Mario gained life.
It's my notification for my wife.
Very nice.
I didn't expect her to text me at 11 at night.
No, I wouldn't have either.
All right.
Yet.
Speaking of 11 at night, I do have to wrap it up on my end because I've got to head out in the morning.
Sounds fun. Sounds fine. Enjoy your.
Well, here, let's end the show and then.
Yeah,
All right.
that's kind of the direction I was going.
Monday night. Oh, before I forget, Monday night is fun night, but I will be at work this coming Monday, so I probably won't be here.
So party at Nikodas's house.
I meant to tell you guys that last week, and I keep spacing it. So while you're here, I work Monday. Okay. But next Thursday we will go over the Lobby store, and as always, I will see you out there.
Have fun, be safe, and don't set yourselves on fire.
Again, you can support us, coffee, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and live long and prosper. Computer, end program.